I'm Stephen Hann from Archery Supplies. Today we want to look at the new bow for 2017 from PSE. This is the PSE Brute Force Lite. So it's new for 2017. The Brute Lite, the Brute Force, was available in 2016, which is this bow here. Now there's quite a few changes and we're going to go through those changes and a bit about this bow. Now in 2016, which is what we're still in, the Brute was not particularly popular for me. I know it was popular for a lot of other dealers, but for me it wasn't particularly popular. Now the reason it wasn't popular, it was a cast riser, and this bow here is the drive, and that was a machined riser. The machine riser, the drive, same speed, same price, was for me my second biggest selling bow. So the Brute Force wasn't. However, this year it comes out in a new riser design. So we'll grab the difference. Same price point, same cams. They haven't changed the cam design for 2017. And this bow's only just new. I just literally pulled it out of the box today for a customer, and literally arrived yesterday, and a customer ordered it today. And I saw it and I went, I've got to do a review on this and show you this bow. Now the changes for this bow for 2017, the limb bolts here, I like this system here. Here you can see how much limb bolt you've got left when you're winding out. One of my big questions is how much can I wind out my limb bolt? Now PSE, on the information sheet, they generally say here how much you can wind the bow out. Now here it actually doesn't say how many turns, but on their other bow it does. It says 10 turns or 5 turns or 6 turns. Now a lot of bows it doesn't, and it makes it very hard for a dealer and a customer, especially when they throw away this information sheet, how many turns I can get. In fact, one of my bad reviews on Facebook is saying that I don't know how many turns. The customer asked me how many turns can I wind out a bow, and I said I don't know. Part of that is I don't know, but part of it is also as you wind down a bow, the tension decreases on the bow. Now with the Brute, these are compression limbs, so this is a solid piece of fiberglass pulled down, heaps and heaps of tension. Now with this amount here of limb bolt adjustment, you're going to get heaps of poundage adjustment. Now for 2017, this is a 70-pound bow. This bow will wind down to 45 pounds. Now the question is going to be, what's the bow going to be like at 45 pounds? Now the PSE is going to be fine at 45. And the reason is this has still got compression limbs, and it's still going to put a lot of tension on the strings and cables. With a bow which doesn't have compression limbs, so it has straight limbs, which are not under this amount of pressure, as you wind down the bow, like the Diamond Edge, as you wind that bow down, they're not compression limbs, these strings and cables become soft and you lose the performance. That's not the case with this. Now PSE, once again, on the Brute, has got your module adjustment here. So to change the draw length, you can see this is currently set on E, and the module down here will also be set on E. You don't need a bow press to adjust this. Basically all you do, you need a Torx, which is a triangular head, there and there, 2 screws there and there to change the module. Loosen off those screws, rotate the module and move this. Each letter is 1/2 inch, A being the longest, each letter being 1/2 inch. Now the Brute is adjustable from 31 inches to 25. Now I've got a dealer who sells more Brutes than drives, and the reason he sells more Brutes than drives is it's got a longer draw length adjustment. It goes out to 31 inches. I'm pretty sure the drive stops at 30 inches. I still prefer the drive because of the machine riser, but this riser is really, really cool. Now, first thing, I've set this up with a basic kit that the customer's going to buy. It's got your first sight position here, and if I turn it around, you can see there, it's the first sight position, and you can also move the sights up here. It's very handy if you're setting up your bow and you want your sights to be in the middle of the sight picture, which is going to be dependent on your anchor point position. So it enables you to move your sight from one position to the other. to keep the sight central depending on your anchor point. That's really good. The limb pivots, this is still plastic, which it was in 2016. They've changed the limb pockets here. It's a completely new limb pocket. The graphics are new and look, to me, they look pretty cool. To me, that looks pretty cool. The bow comes in Skullworks, black, and the camo. PSE obviously have all their matching camo. For 2017, they've changed the string stop. It was metal. I'll grab the old one. The old one was a metal string stop here. They've now changed to carbon. So it's now a carbon rod. They've changed the string stop. The strings are pretty much the same. Same cable guard position, so same cable guard position, metal. With the more expensive $1,000 bows, you have the flexible cable guards, or with the Supra and the Expression as an angle cable guard to reduce torque. With the Drive in 2016, I had some issues with the cable guard, this screw here, and this would actually move, and you just had to tighten up, put it back. Basically, the cable guard should be in position at 1 o'clock. So you want a little bit of clearance here from the cables to shoot, but not too much clearance, because if you pulled it out to the side, then it affects your tune of the bow. Overall, they've reduced the weight of the bow down to 3.8 pounds. I'm pretty sure the Brute in 2016 was a 4-pounder. So it's a bit lighter, still a cast riser, but it's a nice finish, and I think it's a nice feel. The grip for 2017 has been changed. It's now this smooth looking grip, which is what you see in the top end bows. The 2016 model had the rubber plates either side. So PSE really upped the Brute, made it look like a top performing bow. Now the speed on this bow is about 332 feet per second, which puts it as fast as most bows on the market. Not up there with the 370s of the Full Throttle and the 355s of the Decree, but it puts it up there with most other bow companies in the thing. So if you go down to the range and you've got this bow, American dollars, I'm going to get American dollars wrong, but in Australia this bow sells for around $700 in the kit format, with the sight, rest, release aid, quiver, 6 arrows. The kit is about 160, so this bow in a fully kit, ready to shoot, set up, is going to sell for $860, which is what this customer is actually buying. So this is the kit which I'm fitting to it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind this bow down here. I just wanted to show you before I wind it down, and we're going to shoot at 18 meters, and I'm going to set these sights up for the customer, see how it shoots, and we're going to shoot it at the indoor range here, see what sort of groups I get, and hopefully I can group it quite well. I shoot the Drive quite well, so I'm hoping I'll shoot this quite well. So let's test it out. Okay, so I've set up the Brute, the Brute Force Lite, get the name right. So first thing is I've wound this down 12 turns. I've still got some room here on the limb bolt, so I suppose I've got probably another 2 pounds of winding down I could do with this, 2 full turns. Currently with 12 turns on limb bolts, this 70-pound bow dropped back to 50 pounds, which is fantastic. The limbs have still got compression on them, but you can see the amount of compression on the limbs has actually decreased. So the amount of pressure on the limbs has decreased. There's still a lot of tension on these strings and cables at 50 pounds. They're not soft. A lot of bows where you wind down 20 pounds, this will become loose. So just bear that in mind. So for my opinion is this bow will still shoot good at 50 pounds. Even though it's a 70-pound bow. Saying that, if you're not going to shoot 70 pounds, don't buy a 70-pound bow. I mentioned before about this cable guard coming loose. Now first off I tested the bow on the poundage, no problems, nothing came loose. I fired one shot to get my sights correct, and the cable guard dropped off. So all I did was I retightened this little bolt here, and I've shot another 4 arrows, no problem. So I fired a total of 4 shots with this bow. I've now moved the sight from the bottom position on the sight thing upwards because I have quite a low anchor point, which I like that feature. Puts the sight back in the middle, and this is the top pin. Should be, I haven't actually sighted in at 18, I sighted in at 10. So at 18 this should be pretty close to hitting the middle, touch wood. Like I said, I haven't shot it so at 18, so we'll see how it goes. I'm more looking for groups and making sure when I hand this bow to the customer, they'll be able to shoot it and not shoot over the neighbour's fence. But overall, I love the way the bow sits, like the weight in your hand. This stabilizer's got no weight, it's just a piece of rubber, but the balance is just perfect in the hand when you think. The cam design on this bow is brilliant. It's a hybrid cam system. It's round wheel at the top here, so basically there's no modular adjustment on the top here, so really simple. Very hard for this bow to go out of tune. There is timing marks on the cams, so you can see if the bow's in time. So when this bow's 2 years old and these strings, let's say, have stretch, or you fitted replacement strings to it, you can see if it's still in spec. Love it. Common question is, how does this bow rate against other bows by other brands? Now, to me, this is a step up from the Stinger. You've got better cam system, better riser, faster. You're talking an extra $200 for the bow, Australian dollars for the bow over the Stinger, and that's just pure performance. Now, other bow companies who have their next mid bow up price point wise, my opinion is there's nothing as good as this on the market. I like the Drive over this, but I do like the design of the riser now. It sits really nice in the hand, and it does go out to a bigger draw length than the Drive, so I can make a case that this is a better bow than the Drive, but I still like the Drive better. Is there another bow by another company as good as the Brute or the Drive? That's the question. As far as I'm concerned, at that price point, no. And I'm happy for you to put a bow in the comments below that you think's a better bow at the price point. Hoyt are generally more expensive for the same sort of price bow. So to get these sort of speeds, you're talking, I'm going to guess a Hoyt which is towards $1,000 Australian. The Matthews or Mission line has the Hyper, which doesn't have draw stops, not quite as fast. You're going to go up to the Ballistics, which are a similar price point to this bow, down a little bit on speed. Bear do have a bow which is similar. I think it's a little bit up in price for the same sort of speed. PSE tend to price their bows that they're competitive at that price point, and when I say competitive, under the other bows, other brands. Their service is brilliant. No one's close to PSE on service, so I know I say that, but for me it's just huge. Like, I've got to ring companies all the time and hassle them about trying to get parts in for people, and for me and for those customers, it's almost a nightmare. With PSE I don't have any nightmares. It's just yeah, it's happy sailing for me. Anyway, so we're going to shoot this bow at 18 meters and see how it shoots. This is at 50 pounds at 28 inches. So I normally shoot about 28.5 to 29. So this is going to be a little bit short for me, but I'll just bend my front arm. So first off, the draw cycle, it's smooth, 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 smooth. Hitting a valley around now, valley, 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 and then it physically stops. Now, the draw stop on it, there is only a cable stop down the bottom. There is no limb stops. So it's just got the cable stop, but it is rock solid when you get back there. It doesn't rock, it's just rock solid. So it's an easy draw cycle. It's not like a decree or a full throttle. This is just like, if you want to let it down, it's like, I'll just let this bow down. So I draw it back. You really almost don't feel, there's a peak there, valley, peak, valley, peak, valley. You almost don't feel the peak and you don't feel the valley. I know everyone uses the word smooth, but it's 335 feet per second, 332 feet per second. that should be an easy bow to draw, and this is an easy bow to draw. The grip is wide, so it feels very much like the new Decree. The Super grip, very much along that same focus. To me at 3.8, this is a really nice 3D hunting bow, which is high performance, but still at a price point where you go, this is, I'm not blowing the budget on a bow. This is still got all the performance of all those other bows, but it's, you know, price tag really, really affordable. So let's see how it shoots. Now I shot the Evolve 35 yesterday. I shot an amazing group with it without a peep sight. Now I've shot a drive because my cousin's got a drive, and I've shot a perfect round with the drive, so really like the drive. This is the same cam system, so I'm guessing I'm going to shoot really well, but let's see. The cam system with this, it holds really well in the center. And like I said, I'm shooting at 28 inches because that's what this customer ordered. So it's not my comfort zone, but it still holds really, really well in the center. There's no shock. It's, I don't know if you can hear it being shot, but it's really quiet. One thing with the shot, when I just felt that this bow is really well balanced just there, but when you apply pressure it kind of moves a little bit like that, and that's where a stabilizer will feel a little bit better to shoot. So if you had a stabilizer it'd feel a little bit better, but still, like, overall this is great. Shoot a couple more. Really, really like this bow. And I can make the point I like this probably better than the drive because the grip feels a bit nicer than the drive that I'm actually holding. It feels very much, with the rounded edges, it feels very much like the Decree and the Supla. I feel like the drive's a little bit more straight edged along the grip, but I have to reshoot the drive to check that. But okay, so let's go down and see the group. You know, with a basic setup, not draw length, and I'm not making excuses for the group because I actually don't know what the group's like, but these hunting sights are not as good as a scope for me aiming at 18 meters. It's harder for me to see where the pin is, but overall it felt good. So we're going to just go down and see how it is. Okay, so I'm down here at 18 meters. I'm down here from shooting at 18 meters. This is the group. So I've got one arrow in the 8. My sights are predominantly low, but if I put that, that's a pretty awesome group. Like for a hunting bow, like not sighted in, even not sighted in, like that's a 10, that's a 10, that's a 10, that's a 9, that's a 10. And it's not sighted in. Now if I move my sights, they would all be 10s. That's still going to be an 8. But for me, that's awesome for this bow. Like I'm comparing it to the Expression, which I shoot, you know, $2,000 bow. My accessories on it, stabilizers are probably going to be in the vicinity of maybe $400–500. My scope, is maybe $600. My sight is $600. My arrow rest is $100. And this is $700. So for me, this group, I mean, if you can go down a target range and shoot like that, awesome. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be one of the best shooters in the club. And that's with a $700 bow, and there's going to be a whole bunch of people down there with $2,000 bows. So to me, that's awesome. And just one thing on the, you know, it really doesn't matter how you group, but there's not a lot of difference in bows between this and like the Decree and the more expensive bows, and I'm not suggesting don't buy them. But, you know, this bow has got seal bearings here. The limbs are actually the same. With the more expensive bows, you're getting like little fine things. So you're getting a better cable guard. You're getting a better riser. You're getting a bow which is maybe a little bit faster. So you're getting things that are fractionally better. And we're only talking about a couple of %. But when you're shooting that, so what's the difference between that and the top guy in the state? That ain't. That's it. And that's my first arrows with this bow. Not tuned, not set up. And hopefully the customer will be happy when he gets it, because if he can shoot like that and straight off the bat, and that's what we do. So that's the Brute Lite. PSE does have it in a ready to shoot kit, which is different to my ready to shoot kit. The PSE kit has a PSE sight, has a whisker biscuit arrow rest, and has a quiver. Our kit has a release aid, 6 arrows, and we use the Chinese sight, the Chinese whisker biscuit, and Chinese stabilizer. So kit wise, I think they're about the same price, but we've got the arrows and the release aid because I want the person to be able to shoot the bow straight off. We use gold tip arrows because they're pretty affordable and really tough. So that's it. I love the bow. The engineers, to me, this is awesome. Love this pocket design here. This to me is like a really nice pocket system. It's like what they use for the Expression, but in plastic. The Expressions is all machined. But they've obviously taken the design aspects of it, made a cheaper version, and it's an awesome bow. It's, to me, you know, if you're looking at a new bow and you're looking at the Stinger, if you can afford the $200, it's well worth making the jump up for the Drive or the Brute. If you can't afford it, the Stinger's going to shoot fine for you. It's just this is a lot nicer. So, and just watch that little screw, and if you put it back in, make sure it's the 1 o'clock angle so you've got that cable clearance, because that was an issue. I suppose last year, I don't know how many drives I sold a lot. I probably had 5 people tell me this cable guard came loose, and like I said, it came loose in this video. So just watch that. The PSE accessories are great. They all fit on with matching camo. This camo is obviously not the PSE. But overall, it's a really nice bow and well worth checking out at your local archery shop. So for 2017, the PSE Brute Force Lite, awesome bit of gear, like really good. I'm Stephen Hann from Archery Supplies. Enjoy your archery and practice lots. Thank you. Bye.